Hey, what is going on, everybody? Boilon here, and welcome to the Danger Room. Because in today's video, I'm going to be talking about all of my experiences that has gotten me through to the end. I have cleared a difficulty 10 run, as you can see here in this photo here. Now, it is not like the best score by any means. You know, it's over 100,000 for the milestone. I'm not really there to be competitive for the leaderboards or anything like that, but I want to kind of go over my experiences in running through this, the kind of the things that you should look out for, all the things that help me get to the end, and hopefully this video will help you go through that as well. In the first part of the video, I'm going to be talking about my rationale and why I did things. I'm going to be talking about the top boons or mods or whatever that you're going to be using to do this, and things that'll help you on your run. And in the second half of the video, I'm going to do a little bit of that gameplay myself as well. Some of the things to talk about. There's a 3-diamond sunspot in the milestone. That's peculiar, isn't it? Maybe we'll have another chance to talk about that in a separate video, probably not here today. But yeah, here we go. If you're ready to go, let's boil this down. Okay, so first things first is that I did do a handful of runs because honestly, I wasn't sure how easy or not it would be. I started at difficulty 6, and then I did 7. Then I actually just like went up one each time. This wasn't necessarily to grind the danger room tokens or anything like that. It's because like the first run was fairly challenging, and I think they may have made it a little bit easier this time around, I think, in terms of if you want to jump straight to like difficulty A plus, that kind of thing. Now, some things that I would look out for, and I think things that will help you at least be able to clear this a little bit easier. I do want to point out this particular mod here. It is 500 danger room tokens. This didn't actually take me that long to grind, and you do not have to do this. But if you are having some difficulties, this will make it significantly easier, because I do want to kind of just jump to the end here a little bit and tell you about the boss. So the this picture. So the final boss here is containing 2 Mephistos and an Odin. So basically, if you enter this node, you are going to get hit by 2 exhaust. Now, there's some ways around that we're going to take a look at as well, but this will make it pretty easy. That they'll do their little thing, and you're not going to get exhausted. So that'll significantly make it easier. Also, I would recommend against, in my opinion anyways, recommend against the elite mission rooms, because there is a chance that you can also run into Mephistos, which will then place more exhaust, which is going to carry over for the rest of the run. So that's not a lot of fun either. And so if you just want to ignore all of that as far as Mephistos go, then you can use this mod. Now, as far as the other ones go, I'm not using Thunderbolts. And I should have said this at the beginning. I am doing this from the perspective of Vigilantes, that I did this pretty much by and large with just Vigilantes. I did use some Songbird. Sorry, no Electra. I didn't use Electra, but Songbird I used from time to time as well in a couple of runs. Now, some other mods I used was none of this Accursed or Thunderbolt stuff, but I kind of just eventually got enough that I could just apply these very easy ones, right? Some stat modifiers, that kind of thing here. And I didn't really use any of this, but you could have thrown I did use Blade from time to time as well. We're going to talk about that too. I actually found Blade pretty useful. So before we get into that, again, the gameplay is going to be in the second half. There's a couple of other things that I do want to run over in this. So first of all, this node is a bit of a pain in the ass, and I found when using Vigilantes that even this, the reason why is because Man-Thing bumps up the speed, and there's nothing you can really do about speed stat. There is a mod called Emma Frostboon, which gives them minus 10% speed, but I'm not sure if that's enough. So essentially, Blade and Oath were all going first, and I think maybe Vulture might have slowed me down as well. I'm not entirely sure here. But Blade and Oath went first and did a whole load of damage to my team. And then there's also an Agatha, so anytime that they went to low HP, Agatha clipped them, and it was not fun. I had quite a bit of difficulty, surprisingly, with this room and not some of the other ones. So do watch out for that. But this was basically what the last boss kind of looked like for one of my runs. Now, this was, I did a 4-person Vigilantes, and I did Blade. This was very early on. So I did this. This might have been my second run. And so I'm pretty sure I did actually end up clearing this. I did, though, have to basically eat a bunch of damage. So I'm surprised I actually made it through this with 2 exhaust. Now, I do have gear tier 20, Silver Sable, Daredevil Modern, and Hit Monkey. Also Blade as well, actually. So that might have made a big difference in terms of doing this. Like getting through this with exhaust, I was a little bit surprised. But basically, what you have to do on the last boss is you have to get Odin down ASAP. Now, the good thing about Mephistos, both of them for that matter, they use their specials, and that applies the taunt to the Odin on the last boss node so that you can kind of like beeline and kind of get him down. So you want to focus as much damage as you possibly can. And what's good about Blade and why I kind of like Blade is that when you crit, he does an assist. Now, assuming that you have that empowered passive, because I do, and it's a lot of added damage that you can get you there. Now, I'm going to talk about some of the mods that I use, and I made a little infographic. I'm terrible when it comes to actually making graphics, but I did do something that I thought were some of the most helpful mods. I also want to kind of just show this. This was my final D10 clear. However, I could have done it with Silver Sable instead of Songbird. What I like about Songbird, I'll be honest, I do have Songbird at gear tier 20 by accident. I may have mentioned this in another video. I accidentally took her to gear tier 20. But she's quite fast. Her speed stat is high, and actually I like the alt where it kind of flips, as long as they don't safeguard, like they kind of flips all the buffs. And I quite like that part. And it goes very well if she can do enough damage in conjunction with some of the mods that I'm going to be talking about here that I used in some of my runs. So I did this, and I'm going to go into full screen mode so it's a bit easier to see. And I'm actually going to remove my cam box here so that you can see everything here. We're going to zoom in a little bit more. I think that's pretty much as far as I can go here. But these, I took some screenshots. It's not perfect. I apologize. These were all of the best mods that I thought that I used during my run. There's a few things that I want to point out in specifically is this Deal with the Devil, and that's why some of them are a little bit bigger than others in size. So Deal with the Devil, honestly, it has nothing to do with any of this accursed stuff. It has to do with this bottom part, that enemies cannot gain empowered. So this basically means that Mephisto is not going to bring out both of them. Both of the Mephistos or any other Mephistos that you encounter in the Danger Room are not going to bring out their buffs. Their books to put exhaust down or anything like that or buff their team. Now, I had only actually run into this one time out of like 5, so the chances might be quite low. But if you do get your hands on this mod, it will make things significantly easier because you won't have to deal with that. Also, any apocalypses, when they use their ultimate, will not go into their Falcon Punch mode. So that is very, very important as well. The second biggest buff that I do want to talk about is Carnage Boon. Now, I found this very, very, very helpful because, like I said with Songbird, she goes first almost all the time, give or take a few different combinations of rooms. And so when an enemy drops below 25% health, fill speed bar by 20% for self and all allies. So if you can get her ultimate off, which is AoE, and you do knock somebody down below 25% health, this creates a really big snowball effect for your entire team, which especially if you're able to do this on the last level, you know, if you get any of the side enemies down to low HP, then you basically snowball through speed bar and you're able to get Odin down very, very easily. Some other nice ones that I do want to point out is Therapy. Allies cannot gain trauma. So, this would be in the case of like Mephisto, Apocalypse with the ultimate, a few other characters where this could be quite nice to have. But these two for sure are the biggest ones. Some other great ones, Doom's Boon. When an ally drops below 50% health, generate 1 ability energy for that character and fill their speed bar by 50%. Barrel of Monkeys, you might be familiar with this from last time. So on spawn for each non-hit monkey Vigilante ally, clone 1 hit monkey ally. So this is more, again, a lot of this is from the perspective of using mostly Vigilantes. I did not do full Thunderbolts. I did not do full Accursed. So do keep that in mind. The reason why I did it this way is because I think a lot of people have their Vigilantes built up. And I think that that's why, and I mentioned this in previous videos, I was going to do it from this perspective. Mysterio's Boon on ally basic, clone that ally. Now this says this can only happen once per match. I have had this happen up to twice. Like I've had like an extra hit monkey and an extra Punisher. Like I've had like 2 extra characters. When it says it happens only once, I've had it happen twice. But it depends on the node, and I don't know what I don't know what's doing that. But I think this one's a little bit bugged, and you can get a little bit more bonus out of that as well. Some other good ones here up at the top that go really, really well together actually is Energy Vampire and Entry Wound. Entry Wound was available in the last Danger Room. On spawn, each ally applies bleed to all enemies. Enemies cannot gain immunity. This is insane because with a full team, they're basically getting 5 bleeds, and it does a crap ton of damage. And then in combination with Energy Vampire, basically if you hit them, then you're gaining ability energy per target hit, actually. So if you use an AoE attack and they all have bleeds from Entry Wound and you go first, like let's say Songbird, then you're getting your entire energy back. It's pretty crazy. Basic Evade, I really, really like this one as well. So if you use your basic attack, gain 2 evade. This is quite. I do this a lot for a lot of my characters, honestly. Punisher, especially Punisher and Daredevil Modern. I use the basic quite a lot, and so having that 2 of 8 is quite helpful. Quality Steel for Vigilantes. On Vigilante ally crit, apply 3 bleed to all targets. I think that's all targets hit in that attack, but and prolong the duration of bleeds on those targets by +3. So a lot more bleeds. Again, synergize with some of these other ones as well. Energizing Strike on kill, generate 1 ability energy for self and adjacent allies. So this is nice too to keep that energy chain going. Cleanse on turn, clear all negative effects on self. So again, this goes really well if you have therapy, because then you're never going to have debuffs, or at least once you take your turn anyways. Some other fun ones. Sinister's Boon on ally ultimate. Clone the enemy with the highest damage. This can only happen once per match. Now, this could be really good with the boss battle here. Was that what I wanted to do? Yeah, this one here. I've actually had it where it does clone Odin, because I think with the offense up, he does have the highest damage, I think, and he does end up getting cloned. I've had this happen one time. Speeding Ticket is nice to have. Enemies cannot gain speed bar from abilities. And finally, this one is nuts. I've only had this once, and it was crazy. Black Panther's Boon on kill, fill speed bar by 100%. If you can somehow combine Black Panther's Boon and Carnage Boon, you're off to the races. It is literally insane for any characters with AoE, like Songbird, with Silver Sable's ult, with Punisher's ult. I've had Punisher have 5 turns back to back with Black Panther's Boon when I had this. It was insane, but I only saw this actually once. Carnage Boon I've seen a couple of times. Black Panther's Boon only once, and Deal with the Devil only once. And I don't know if there's like set percentages, or if I was just unlucky or lucky for some of the other ones. I don't know if they all have the same appearance percentage or anything like that. But these represent some of the better ones, especially if you're doing Vigilantes. But I really wanted to point out Deal with the Devil and Carnage Boon, because this really helped me get through my run. And for the second half of the video here, we are going. Oh, there, we'll get myself back, like mom. There we go. Okay, so we're back here, and I'm gonna do a run here myself. I don't really need to do this anymore, but I am going to do it anyways, just to show you guys a little bit. Now, I normally start the run off with Daredevil Modern, and this could go either way. I've been doing it with Punisher. You could also do a Silver Sable. I cleared the entire run with just Punisher, so why I really like this. I actually did this with my first Danger Room. I put him as a Raider until I get more characters, though, because I don't keep Daredevil as a healer. So this is the kind of what I run here to begin with. And honestly, sometimes you might get unlucky. I've actually never seen Red Hulk before on any of my runs. That's crazy. I'm gonna go. You know what? I'm gonna go over here because I'm Daredevil, right? So I think that Punisher hits a little bit harder. So maybe I can get it down with him. But because I do want to one-shot him and don't. I mean, they're not really doing that much. Can I kill him with one? Okay, Punisher does do a lot of damage, honestly, so that's why I really like having him. I'm going to auto basic basically at this point. And again, how good your run does, sometimes there's RNG, right? Like, and you just can't do anything about it. I get, maybe I've had some decent luck because like I only had to do about, and I was just climbing just to kind of test the difficulties, that kind of thing. So again, I went 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. By the time I got to 10 though, I had enough to get that mod for the exhaust thing, so I didn't have to deal with the Mephisto exhaust. I find that to be a little bit of a shortcut. You know, if you're not able to get things like Deal with the Devil, if you don't come up with that because you don't have the patience to like wait around for a single mod. So let's see. I'm gonna go with the offense up to start here. So again, nothing super amazing there, and then we're just moving on here. All right, the start of the level here, and we have Green Goblin just messing about because they're faster than I am, of course. And I got the trauma, but luckily they don't really hit very hard, so I'm not really that concerned about them. Okay, cool. Thank you. Thanks. Okay, there we go. Yeah, not that hard. We're still in the very early stages, and we're moving on. All right, what are we going to get here? Let's see. We have Basic Evade. I'm going to go with that one, actually. And then I'm going to go for the care package over here. We're going to try to get another character. And we got Hit Monkey. Okay, so that's not bad. We're going to pick him up, and then we're going to move on. Never do the elite combat. It's just my opinion. I never seem to. You don't need to do it, and I think you just run the risk of running into some really bad combinations of nodes that way. So we need to kill Doctor Strange, and that didn't do as much damage as I thought it would. Can I kill him? No. Don't stun me. Oh, he didn't stun me. Okay, cool. I'm gonna use the special. Look on. There we go. This one's not that bad. I've seen this before. He doesn't hit that hard. Actually, it's fine. We can deal with the damage. Gore's dead. We can do the basic on Daredevil. That'd be nice. Although, again, our armor's high enough that it doesn't really matter. It doesn't make that much of a difference here. And we're done. We're done. We're done. Okay, moving on. All right, what mods do we get from this one? Come at me, came again. I'm gonna go with. I do like cleanse. I'm gonna go with ally spawn with immunity. Thing is, I think I might be faster than most of the enemies, so that's just why I don't know if I'm just gonna lose the immunity. But we're gonna go for. Oh, we got cleanse again. Ooh! I forgot about Kang's boon actually. I did not include that one in my. This is only the second time I've ever seen this one actually. I'm gonna go for Kang's boon this time around. We're gonna keep going on to the combat missions. We have 3 characters, so we're gonna get speed up now. That one's quite helpful actually to get you ahead of some of the other enemies, and especially when they don't use the, especially on the last level when the Mephisto doesn't really do the book. Now I probably didn't need to do that because that just does speed up. But anyways, we're gonna go over here, get Omega Red. I think that speed up is gonna help us get ahead of some of the other enemies, especially that problem node that I told you about with the Night Stalkers. I think that this might be enough to get ahead, actually, because the speed up on spawn would be quite helpful. So there we go, another level cleared. If we could get Blade or Silver Sable or Songbird, that would be great. Those are the kind of characters that I'm using on my run typically. Let's see if we can. Now what? I'm gonna go with Come At Me because it has to do with Daredevil Modern and doing more damage when he has Taunt. Go for the care package, and we're. I didn't want Elektra. I literally just said that. I have never seen her actually. This is gonna be my first time. I don't normally run this with Elektra, so this might not pan out. But just for the sake of this, we're already at 10 out of 20. We got Songbird, okay. But as far as cards go, Quality Steel is really nice. I do, but Mysterio's boon, so we have to pass that up. Unfortunately. We're moving on to 11 out of 20. We do have Songbird and Elektra. So, I don't know. I don't like Elektra. I've never actually run any of my runs with Elektra, but sometimes you just have to go with what you got, right? So, there you go. This node here. I'm gonna go with a special and see if we had Carnage Boon. That would have given so much, right? Like that's what I like about that one, anyways. Let's go with Havoc. Try to get Havoc down a little bit more. They do have a lot more hit points, though, at a difficulty 10, of course. Aw, boo. Okay. They should bleed out, though. That's a lot of bleeds. Maybe? Maybe? Let's just kill Lilandra anyways. What? Oh, she has a lot of hit points. Okay, I thought she was bleeding out. No. Okay. There we go. And then we go over here. I think we can just auto basic at this point. Okay, moving on, and let's see what boon we get. All right. Nothing. Oh, execute. Okay. The other one's not so great for what I'm trying to do. Good to move up to a care package. What do we get? Get another one. We got on Vigilante if the target has defense. I don't think this is very good. Actually, it doesn't do that much. I'm gonna go with Warlock's boon or Warlock boon. Defense up and safeguard on spawn. I'm gonna go to room number 13. I didn't see who the enemies were. There's an apocalypse. Okay, we'll see how that goes. So 13 out of 20, but we do have on spawn speed up, the Kang's boon, so that should be quite helpful to get us ahead of everyone else. So I like this. Old Man Logan, don't like this that much. I'm going to try and avoid, there's really nothing to flip either. So I'm going to kind of avoid, offense down actually. I'm going to try and not do that for just now. We're going to see if we can get like a single target over here. I would like some of my other characters to go, we can't. Oh, we can stun him actually, can't we? Trauma? Oh no, he's immune to. Oh shit! But we got the trauma down. That's weird. We'll just go with the special and kill him. I hate Old Man Logan. So I don't really care. Let's go with the all. How much damage is that going to do? If we had Carnage Boon, like that's what I mean. Carnage Boon just goes to town on these kinds of AoEs. I may have been a bit too, and that's yeah. Okay, we gotta redo that level. Let's redo that. Okay, I managed to clear this. I'll admit this was quite tough. I was not, for some reason, I was not really able to avoid getting hit by the Apocalypse Ult, which then got punched into Daredevil, and then Songbird took a bunch of damage. But unfortunately, she's under trauma, so I was going to clear all negative effects, but I can't really do that. So this one is a little bit more challenging. Luckily, because of Hitmonkey, Old Man Logan's revive actually did nothing. I did also take a special from him, luckily not an ult. So I did manage to kill him before then. But I'm thinking here that I'm just going to go with the basic, I think, right? I can't really do much for Songbird. If I can end the level before she takes a turn, that would be great, because then I'm not going to take those bleed damages. There we go. Okay, it was a little bit challenging. Sorry I didn't really show it all, because I actually did reset this node a couple of times just to get get the right thing to happen, I suppose you could say that. So that one was a little bit tricky because we didn't really have a way to negate a lot of what Apocalypse had at this point on this run anyways. Now I'm going to get Energizing Strike. On kill, generate 1 ability energy. Now, if we had that with Carnage Boon, it's so amazing if we just had that. Care Package, Entry Wound, really, really good. I like this one as well. I do like Therapy, but Entry Wound is more important. So that's super important there. We're moving on to 15 out of 20. Who was on the node? I didn't check. Kahori. Okay, I don't know if I've seen this combination. I'm kind of scared of that Kahori a little bit. Unfortunately, we're also not blocking. I'm not going to heal him yet. We're also not blocking the speed bar. I don't think we have Speeding Ticket. Did I pick up Speeding Ticket? Otherwise, Scientist Supreme is going to go first. And she probably is. I think so. I think that's her speed bar. Yep. Oh, no. No, yeah. Yeah, we are. No, we're not. Songbird, actually. But that's no Carnage Boon. Otherwise, that'd be really amazing. We do have immunity, though. So that might be helpful. We're going to go over and we're going to do a stun on Kahori, just in case. And then I'm going to go do the ultimate, because that's going to cleanse Songbird. I don't have any way to heal her up. That's kind of the big problem, actually. It's kind of a little bit of a problem. I'm using the grenade to steal some buffs and transfer that around. And then we're going to also go over here and kill her because she's got high speed. And then I think we're going to go for Medusa. Go over here, right? Maybe we're going to go over there, do the basic. She did heal up somehow, actually. I'm not exactly sure how Songbird's healing up, I'll admit. But there we go. We're going to go over there. Can we get another turn on? There we go. Kill Medusa and easy peasy lemon squeezy. Moving on to the next node. I was a little bit... I don't know how she got regens, actually. Maybe it was some of the Vigilantes. Sometimes there's so many other kits going on, I actually don't know why things are happening sometimes, but anyways. So that we're moving on from 15. Claiming, do we get into... I don't have trauma immunity, I don't think, so that might not matter later. When an ally uses a basic speed up, I have 2 turns. I'll take Cleanse. I already have the on-spawn speed up from Kang's Boon. I'm actually going to skip the battle. Pick up another health pot, and then we're going to do this battle, and then I think after that we have 2 left. We have this one, and I think a shop. I saw a null in there. But we have speed up, so that might be okay. I've also had issues where if null's darkness causes me to kill myself, aka my characters hit themselves. That's a bit of a problem as well. We're going to go over and let's just try and flip that. Let's see how much damage the basic. We didn't flip it. Okay, whatever. Let's get a stun on Apocalypse. He doesn't have immunity. And then we need to kind of focus on null with the special here. And sure, maybe he'll bleed. Oh, no. That was kind of bad. I have to redo this. Try again. Okay, so apparently just everyone bled out. What I did differently was I did the Songbird special, and then I did the Daredevil special on Null, and somehow everyone just bled out. There was a lot of bleeds going around, and I guess that was enough. I did not take much damage, and this just... entry wound. I'm telling you, it's absolutely insane. The only thing that would have made this better is the Carnage Boon, which I was not able to get this run, or the Black Panther Boon. Either of those would have been really, really amazing. I also don't have the Devil's. Well, I don't really need that, I guess, that much because I can block exhaust now. But let's see. I don't really like this one, I'll be honest. But the target is defense down. I mean, this doesn't really happen that much, so I'm going to go with Pressure Point. Not really that great. Feel like we didn't really get a lot of good boons this time around. We have to deal with another null, and this time with Corey. So we have this fight. If we can make it through, we have a shop at the very end, and then we have the final boss, and we're going to see how all of this comes together here. So let's see if we can actually make it this time. Oh, okay, Corey is going first, but we do have Safeguard for the most part. I'm tempted to do the ultimate for damage. Okay, we got some energy back from the kills. Let's get some bleeds. Unfortunately, Null did get that off. And I'm stuck. Stuck on this. I hate Miss Marvel Classic. This is negative zone vibes that I'm getting from this one. I hate this so much. I can't get over there. Okay, now I can't get over there to Null. I can't stun him though, right? So I'm just going to go with the special and try to do some extra damage, I guess. We did get killed though. Songbird's health, that's a small problem. Oh, we did get him down. Okay, wow, okay, cool. Don't kill me. Please don't kill me. That did a lot of damage. Oh, but their health landed at a weird spot. I didn't really like that. That's unfortunate. Oh well. You know, sometimes the run doesn't go exactly as you planned, so there we go. Let's see. What do we got? Final one. Harden. Nope. That sucks. Most of this sucks, actually, because I'm not using unblock. Kill? No, okay. Well, that was garbage. We're going to go to the shop. Let's see. Maybe we can get some stuff. Maybe we can get Blade. my characters this run has been absolute garbage. I'm going to try and do this, you know. We'll see how this works. All Thunderbird crap. On Thunderbird ally attack, I don't have any more Thunderbolts. On attack, okay, here's the thing. These are some of the worst mods that I've had this run. On any revive, Thunderbolt allies gain offense up and safeguard. I mean, I just don't need any of these characters, and I don't know if any of these are actually going to be helpful or not. So, I don't know. I guess it's useless. These are useless mods. Let's see. This is going to be some of the hardest stuff, but what we're going to see in action, I'm going to heal my characters. Might as well, right? Going to heal them up. Going to go in for the last fight. These are not the typical characters. Electra is not something that I would normally run here at all. I guess what we can hope for is that because we're not going to get hit by the exhaust, nice mod. You don't necessarily need this, but it does make it a little bit easier. Fortunately, he's buffing the team, so that's a bit of a problem here. We did manage to go before Odin. That's interesting, but they all have safeguard except for Odin. Might be able to. Now, would this be better? Perhaps. It does a lot of damage. That's kind of why I like it. And then we're just going to go all in on Odin and just try. I know I can't stun him, but I just wanted to do the damage, I guess. Or does that trigger the speed, actually? Maybe that wasn't the best idea. Okay, we can get him down. We got Odin down. There we go. And I think this might just fall into place slowly if I can just survive long enough. I think that's what I'm looking to do over here. We're going to try and get this Mephisto down. The alt. Electro does do decent damage, but... Oh, he's got one more death proof. God damn. Let's see. Can we get through this? I think Odin was like the big... I think Odin was the big issue. I think that once that's clear... And I don't have any exhaust, so that is a pretty big deal. And I think having that mod helps quite significantly. So let's see here. Can we make it through this? I think we might. Getting a lot of counterattacks in. Resists. Kind of resisting a bunch as well. Come on, let me take a turn. Okay, there we go. Clear the barrier. Try to get at this. Well, maybe I can't now. I have to go over here. Let's go over here with the special. Chain around. Gore will be dead. Doesn't go into... Oh, that's stupid. I thought it actually hit stealth targets. Okay, it doesn't matter. Everyone's just falling over a little bit. Oh! Ooh, that red goblin did a lot of damage. Please don't tell me I'm going to have to, like, do this over again. I actually lost my songbird, too. That's wild. Okay, I think we got this. I'm shocked how much damage that red goblin did at the very end, but we did clear the node with a very not a good lineup. I don't like having Electra, but we managed to do it anyways. Did I beat my high score from last? I think it did. It said new high score before I clicked away. But I'm not really there to do it. How much more was it? Okay, 11, 101, 732. I got one. Okay, just barely, right? I beat it by a little bit. That's because I'm not really doing those elite levels. So I just wanted to do a full run of D10 of the Danger Room for you guys. That's it, I guess. That was my recommendations for the Vigilantes. Again, not the lineup that I would choose there. And, you know, sometimes you just got to go with what you get in terms of the mods. But again, if you guys are interested, I'll leave a link to this picture in the description down below and the comments as well. I'll pin a comment if you guys want to share this around with your alliance mates. These are just represent some of the best mods that I believe exist in Danger Room for the Vigilantes. Some of them are over the other teams as well, but I really like these. So that's going to be it for now, everyone, and I'll see you guys on the next video. And if you like this video, make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already, and you'll be greatly helping out the channel. Have a great day, and I'll see you guys on the next one.